Welcome to section 17.2, part 3. This is the 177th session of the CISSP exam prep series. This part turns from the attacks themselves to the systems built to catch them. In this session, we'll unpack intrusion detection and prevention. We'll answer several questions. What is an intrusion detection system, and how does prevention differ? How does knowledge-based detection spot attacks? How does behavior-based detection spot attacks instead? And what do false positives and false negatives really mean? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because these systems are the eyes watching your network while your team sleeps. Picture a logistics firm whose overnight monitoring flags a strange spike in failed logins across dozens of servers. Whether that alert is trusted, tuned, or ignored comes down to how well you understand detection. On the job, you are the one who configures these tools, judges their alerts, and decides when a warning becomes an investigation. What is an intrusion detection system? An intrusion happens when an attacker slips past your controls and reaches your resources. An intrusion detection system automates the inspection of logs and real-time events to catch those attempts and system failures. When it spots something suspicious, it raises an alert or an alarm, and in some cases it can adjust the environment to stop the attack. Treat it as one layer in defense in depth. It complements your firewalls and other controls, but it never replaces them. Think of it as a smoke detector that watches constantly and shouts the moment something smells wrong. So how does prevention differ from detection? An intrusion prevention system includes everything a detection system does, then adds the power to stop or block an attack outright. The key distinction is placement. A true prevention system sits inline, directly in the traffic path. So every packet must pass through it, and it can drop the bad ones before they reach the target. If you disable those blocking features, it simply behaves like a detection system again. Picture a security checkpoint standing in the only doorway, not a camera watching from the corner. How does knowledge-based detection spot attacks? This is the most common method, and it works from signatures, much like anti-malware. The vendor maintains a database of known attack patterns, and the system matches live traffic against it. Find a match, and it raises an alert. The big advantage is a low false positive rate, because a match is a match. The big weakness is that it only catches what it already knows. A brand new attack, or even a lightly modified old one, can slip right past. And just like anti-malware, the signature database must be updated constantly to stay useful. How does behavior-based detection work instead? Rather than matching signatures, it learns what normal looks like. It builds a baseline of typical activity over a period of time, then flags anything that deviates from it. That lets it catch things a signature system would miss, like a sudden traffic spike, a burst of failed logins, or activity at odd hours. Its great strength is spotting brand new attacks that have no signature yet. It behaves almost like an expert system, comparing current events against what it has learned. Its main weakness is noise, because normal behavior varies, so it tends to raise many false alarms. Remember to update the baseline whenever the network changes, or it will flag normal activity as suspicious. Think of a guard who knows the regulars so well that any unfamiliar face stands out. What do false positives and false negatives really mean? Picture just two facts. Either an incident happened or it did not, and either the system detected something or it did not. That gives 4 outcomes. A true positive is an incident that the system correctly detects. A false negative is an incident that slips by undetected, which is the dangerous one. A false positive is an alarm with no real incident behind it, which wastes time and erodes trust. And a true negative is a quiet moment correctly left alone. The same grid applies elsewhere, like a biometric system that should accept the real user and reject an imposter. How do these detection methods trade off against those errors? Here is the balance you must manage. Signature-based systems keep false positives low because they only fire on a real match. But they suffer high false negatives against new attacks they have no signature for. Behavior-based systems flip that, catching novel attacks but flooding you with false positives because the line between normal and abnormal is fuzzy. That is why so many real systems combine both methods, pairing the precision of signatures with the reach of behavior analysis. Think of one guard who checks IDs against a watch list, working beside another who simply notices when something feels off. So let's bring it together. An intrusion detection system watches logs and events and raises alerts, while a prevention system sits in line and blocks attacks outright. Knowledge-based detection matches known signatures with few false positives but misses new attacks. Behavior-based detection learns a baseline and catches novel attacks at the cost of more false alarms. The 4 outcomes, true and false, positive and negative, frame every alert you will ever judge. Combine both methods, and you cover far more ground than either alone. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.